Hey guys, so here we go again with another tip, sort of a technique from the self-defense training company. This is tip of the iceberg of, what's available from the company. If you don't know much about the self-defense training system, it's basically come out of the, tried and tested, commandos used it. It was born out of, World War II, basically, and, so it's tested on the battlefield, and then the guys that founded it went over to, at the time, just after the war, at the time was Shanghai in China was the most violent city in the world because of drug triads, etc. And they were the police over there. They became police over there and worked to, it was tried and true over there and very, very effective. So it was, born on the battlefield and, violent streets, basically. Reality, basically. Okay. So today we're going to go through stop your attacker dead in his tracks with the self-defense training system, double forearm shiver. Now, before we get into that, if there's anybody new, if you appreciate it if you could subscribe. I've got many more videos like this and other topics coming up, mainly to do with health, truthist stuff, what some people would call conspiracy theories, but stuff like 9/11, the truth behind 9/11, etc. Truth behind healing cancer, etc. And at the end of this video, I'll give two very good techniques for keeping healthy. I'll tell you more about those at the end. Other ways you can I've got a list of cryptocurrencies that you can donate. I've got a Patreon account. I'm looking at setting up a PayPal account too. I think PayPal accounts are better for like one-off donations. But if you can't do any of that, guys, I really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. And I thank all the people who have already subscribed. I try to give as much value as possible in my videos, especially of late. I've learnt, if you're going to make a video, try and, I think that's why I put the health tips in, and, I just try and make as, if you're making a video, why not, I can't see the point of sticking to one topic, really. Okay, so, might not be interested, but, that's the way I do it, because it's this stuff all works in hand. Your health, if you haven't got your health, you're not be going to, be, if you've got really bad health, you're in hospital, whatever, you won't be doing, this training, and you just to feel better, and, the tips and techniques I give too are usually either free or, don't cost much money. So there you go. Now, just up front, a couple of those techniques, I won't go into it because they're explained in my other videos. I'll leave two health tips for the end, and I'll give you a couple now. Okay, so you want to research a thing called shungite. And you also want to research something called earthing. Both those, shungite will go some way in towards protecting you from the electromagnetic fields and Wi-Fi, etc. frequencies in the air that are harmful for the cells and the DNA and etc. in the body. Earthing, particularly good for any inflammation issues and bringing into normal state, normal level, the major stress hormone called cortisol. So there you go, guys. Now I'll leave links to, used to be when I started that, to earth, you'd have to go and put your bare feet on the earth, but these days you can get products. You can sleep earth. I sleep earth. I sleep earth every night. So you can buy an earthing sheet. You can be earthed when you're on your computer, so you can buy earthing mat. You can get earthing patches, so you only got any, you know, if you really want to hone in on a specific place, it's an earthing thing. It's like a bandage. You stick it on wherever it's hurting, and then you connect the earthing wire. Also, and I think you'll be amazed if you try that. Okay, so here we go. We'll get into this. So this is from Module 2, Double Forearm Shiver, and this is for extremely close when they're in your, basically, they shouldn't be in your space anyway, so, okay, but if they get as far as your space, and you need to do something about it quickly, this is a good technique for that. So basically extreme close quarter combat.
Hi, this is Damian Ross, CEO of the Self-Defense Company. We're back in the barn with another installment of This Old Ass Kicker. Today, coming from the Self-Defense Training System, Module 4, it's Double Forearm Shiver. Used at extreme close range when you're jammed up, you don't have enough room to move. You're going to attack with a forearm to the head, neck, riding up into the chin, and to the hips. So your forearms are spread out, good body lean into the target, just enough to shock him and to stop him in his tracks. You get guys pressing you. Now you follow up with an edge of hand. In that case, a chin jab. Again, after the initial technique, initial 2 or 3 techniques, whatever happens, happens. So you're working your drill. We're here. He approaches me from the sides. So you've got to get distracted here. All right. Notice. Chin is down, I drop below his shoulder line, so in case a punch comes out, I'm protected. All he sees is the top of my head, my chin is protected, my face is down. Okay? Now, after I moved him, doesn't matter, put his hands up, I really don't care. Here. Okay. Drop. Alright. Practice, get good concussive force. Again, follow that edge of hand, it's right there. Then afterwards, it's whatever comes naturally. Right? So, again, you can move this, you can move the dummy, you can move your position around the dummy. So you're working both sides. Right? That's a double forearm shiver. I'm Damian Ross, Self-Defense Company CEO. Until next time, train honestly.
So there you go, guys. Could be quite handy, and you know, when they're coming at you, or they're already at you and they're in your face. Now, the 2 health tips I'll give. You might not have heard of a thing called Carbon C60. Now, I'll just do a disclaimer on this. I haven't actually tried it, and but people are raving about it. Carbon C60. It's, you know, it's supposed to be good because it's the structure of the atomic structure of it is based upon a buckyball. So it's in the atoms. The atoms get together and form a shape of basically a soccer ball, or I think it's in geometric terms it's a dodecahedral form, I think. But what happens is that what happens with that shape, that soccer ball shape? All basically, you know, disharmonic, anything like, you know, viruses, etc., go into that atom, and what I believe why it's good, and I don't think anybody's talked about this actually, is because once they're in that shape, it's like being in a pyramid shape. Whatever goes into that shape, the soccer ball shape, will be receiving a certain harmonic frequency, because of the dodecahedral soccer ball shape, and it will turn anything disharmonic into harmonic frequency. I'm just going at that from a intuitional, using my intuition on that. I haven't actually heard anybody say it, but from the science point of view, I think what happens, they say, is that the free radicals, look at it, people are raving about it, carbon C60. Like I say, I haven't actually tried it, but I suppose the reason I haven't tried it, one of the reasons, is that it's quite expensive. I tend to use other things. Now another thing, if you're into like intestinal health, stomach health, you have problems with your stomach, get what's called there's many names for it. It's like a it's kombucha, Kombucha. It's like a mushroom that grows, and you make drink out of it, and the drink when you make it with tea bags. And so yeah, look online for how to make kombucha, Kombucha. Now what it does is fills your stomach with the good enzymes and what do you call it? Probiotics. Yeah, probiotics. To keep a healthy stomach, you need probiotics. And now, the good thing about what you do is you go to your health shop, get the mushroom. It's called a SCOBY, and then they'll give you a sheet of how to make it too. It's basically, you get as pure water as possible. Say 2 liters. Throw in 5 black tea bags. You can use, whatever green tea, but it seems that black tea makes the best kombucha. Throw in, I'd say, for 2 liters of water, I would say a cup of sugar. And what it does is it breaks down the sugar and tea. What happens is it naturally, what do you call it? Carbonates. So it's fizzy, and you can add whatever you want to it, like ginger. Famous, not famous, but my favourite one is, I add ginger to it, so it's like ginger beer, and that keeps your stomach healthy and happy. A lot of people these days do seem to have stomach issues, so that's called kombucha. I think another one is Manchurian tea or something like that, but it's got quite a few names, but I think it's mostly known by it's called kombucha, Kombucha. Very nice too. It's very nice, especially if you're trying to do something like give up beer or whatever. Now the beauty of kombucha is I'm pretty sure it alkalizes you too, and that's another health tip, is to alkalize your body. I've talked about it in my other videos. So there you go, guys. See you in the next one. And yeah, don't forget, new people, subscribe on your way out if you can. I'd really appreciate it. Cheers. I've also leave links for the earthing below. I'll leave links for all the self-defense products below. I'll leave links for shungite below as well.